Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. It's Tuesday, so we're running our Tuesday trade, our Trade Tuesday, where we go and look at various graphic novels and trades that are out or coming out soon. In my hands, Machete Squad. It is one of the soon-to-be-released comics from Dead Reckoning. It's the graphic novel imprint of the Naval Institute Press. They've got a really interesting war-focused, military-focused line of graphic novels that are coming out. 4 initial graphic novels are coming out September 15th. We've so far going to be reviewed most of them. We're going to have all of them done by September 15th. Give you some heads up, some lead time to go get this. So I did a review of one of the graphic novels called The Stand, and The Stand is a bunch of anthology stories of people who are actually in Afghanistan and the recounting of their experiences there. The thing that really surprised me, and I think it was fantastic, is that when I heard that Naval Institute Press is coming out with this Dead Reckoning graphic novel line, immediately I think that we're going to get a bunch of propaganda, rah-rah stories. Maybe some are a little bit critical, things here and there, but generally was not expecting, heavy criticism. The Stand is full of heavy criticism. It is warts and all storytelling. And it's not even storytelling. I mean, it is graphic journalism. It's the honest truth. My criticism of The Stand is that the art didn't quite match the story. Machete Squad has that, I think, problem as well. It also has all the fantastic stuff of The Stand as well. There's a brutal honesty to Machete Squad that I'm not expecting. I went in not really knowing anything about the graphic novel. I try to be as clueless as possible when picking up new graphic novels and comics to read. So it's about Brent Dulak. So he joined the military, served in Iraq twice. He's deployed twice in Iraq, once to Afghanistan. He's a medic, and this is his story about his being deployed in Afghanistan and being a medic who is promoted to sergeant. He's in Kandahar province. And basically, it's honest. It's really dark. It's funny. This is a warts and all storytelling. It's not quite shocking as The Stand was, but there's some moments there I said, oh, holy shit, I can't believe this is being told. It makes me wonder if, the names have been changed in any of this, because, holy crap, the stuff that it's said and shown in it. There's also Kevin Knodell, journalist who covers conflicts. Berg is the comic artist. David Axe is also involved with this. He's a fantastic writer and graphic journalist. So basically, this is Dulak's, and I probably apologize if I mispronounce your name. His experience in Afghanistan. They call themselves Machete Squad because they're lopping off body parts, from the IEDs and all that stuff. He basically just shows that this is just worse fucked up, that, our time in Afghanistan has not been very great. It's definitely not the rah-rah, gung-ho propaganda that we're, shoved down our throats at time on the news that, thankfully, they've kind of gotten over. That it really is a slog and just fucked up is the only way I can think of it. It's just not... this is not what these folks signed up for. And that they themselves are dealing with the situation as best they can. These military individuals, whether not Naval SEALs, Army, whatever, that they are going, that they are doing their job, they're following orders, and then they're coming back and dealing with the consequences. And they're dealing with the consequences there as well. That's all in here at Machete Squad. This is... It's interesting to read. It's another example of really solid, I think, graphic journalism. Like The Stand, I think this is one that's read together, paints a much more truthful picture as to what's going on in Afghanistan, something that I myself haven't experienced, thank God. I actually can't serve in the military for medical reasons, but so many are, and they're going to have to live with it. And we, as a nation, at some point are going to have a reckoning to really understand what we've been doing for the last 17 years. and thinking more through it, I think, like, going into these graphic novels, whether or not it's Machete Squad or Trench Dogs or The Stand, I forgot there's a fourth one, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I think it's more just that's a collection of old comic strips. I think Dead Reckoning is maybe one of the most appropriate imprint names out there, judging by The Stand, judging by Machete Squad. There's a reckoning with the people who've died. And even Trench Dogs. I mean, Trench Dogs brings up the 16 million dead. So they are really honoring what has happened before, and kudos to everyone involved. Really kudos. The stories are heart-wrenching and I think eye-opening and sobering. Again, with the art, this one's an interesting one. I don't think the art quite matches the story. However, hear me out on this. So that's some of the art leading up to it. Let me show some of the art actually in Afghanistan. There is a cinematic quality to it that I think is really interesting. There is an animation style that this reminds me of something. It kind of reminds me of something like heavy metal. You might see in heavy metal. That I think as an animated film would work so well versus the printed page. And I think I enjoyed the art a little bit more than I probably should have, in that I kept on picturing this animation to it as I was reading the story and reading the graphic novel. And it's weird to call it a story because it's, this guy lived through it. And so, like, while the art itself isn't flashy, there is this weird cinematic vibe to it that I think works really, really well, and I surprisingly enjoyed. So yeah, like, the art's not great, and it doesn't quite fit the story, and I think so far with all three things that I've read from Dead Reckoning, that's maybe the one thing I would point out with it all so far. So far the art hasn't been superb. Hopefully they might, snag some, and this is not meant as offensive to the artist, but more artists that can fit the style and the stories. But yeah, this is really, really fantastic read. If you're into military stories, if you want honest assessment of what's going on in Afghanistan, this is pretty amazing. This is, as I said, out September 15th. You can get this from the Dead Reckoning website. It's the Naval Institute Press. You might be able to get this from Amazon. I don't know right now off the top of my head. So there'll definitely be links to Naval Institute Press. We might have a link to Amazon. If it's Amazon, then it'll be an affiliate link. We do get a small percentage of that. By doing that, you help support our site. I don't know if this will be out in comic shops. Hopefully comic shops will carry it at some point down the line. I think these have been really fantastic graphic novels and be great additions to shelves out there. And it'd be great to see these in more places. This is one, I recommend it. Like, this is a sobering, eye-opening read. Again, the art's interesting, not quite my cup of tea, but I do see a cinematic flair to it that I think as an animated film it would be amazing and work so much better than just a static comic page, and hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, now if you're into comics, if you're into graphic novels, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. I want to thank Dead Reckoning for hooking us up with the review copy. We always like to be transparent with that so you know how to assess the review. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.